For today's video, I'm going to be reacting to some other teachers' assumptions of me as a teacher. I am very young for a teacher. I am too nice. I stress out a lot. I'm always wearing a full face of makeup to school. You are super confident. I like to take the lead. Yes, I am incredibly worried about my pupils finding my channel. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Miss Ross here. If you didn't already know, then I am a Scottish primary teacher. I make a lot of teaching related and lifestyle related videos, and today we are here with a juicy one. I've got a little cup of tea with me today just in case I want to spill it. How cute is this mug, by the way? I actually got it. A pupil gave it to me last year during my NQT year. If you guys follow me on my teacher Instagram, which is Miss Ross Teach, you will have seen that over the February holiday I decided to start a podcast with my sister Kirsty, and it's called Gossip Gals Podcast. It's just going to be a little bit of a girly chat talking about life in lockdown, so make sure you go and check that out. It is available on Spotify and a few other of the big podcasting apps. If you do enjoy watching my YouTube videos, then you will definitely enjoy this. It's a little bit more laid back and casual. You get to see a little bit of another side to me. For the first episode of our new podcast, Kirsty and I decided to do an assumptions challenge where we asked people to anonymously submit their assumptions of us, and then we reacted to them and gave our personal opinions on them. And not gonna lie, that was so much fun to record, and it kind of sparked the idea for today's video. I asked you guys to send in your assumptions of me based on what you see from me online, and not gonna lie, it was so interesting. I got quite a lot of responses. I was quite surprised, and I am so excited and, not gonna lie, a little bit nervous to react to some of them in today's video. So the first assumption of me is that I am very young for a teacher. I've definitely had that a few times from people. If you didn't already know, then I am 23, and last year I completed my NQT, or my training year. I went straight from secondary school to uni, and I did the 4-year BA primary education course, so that's like the straight teaching course. So yeah, I definitely was pretty young for a teacher. I think there's a lot of good things that come with being young and a teacher. Not that I'm disrespecting older teachers at all whatsoever. The next assumption is that I'm very creative. I'm really glad that people were able to assume that about me from what I post online. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that assumption. I really enjoy, you know, being creative, whether that's through my YouTube videos, through photography, through art. Art and technology are definitely my favourite subjects to teach in school. I really enjoy making displays for my classroom and things like that. I've always been quite a creative person. That one was a really good assumption. The next assumption is that I stress out a lot, and not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to agree with this one as well. I am definitely quite a stressy teacher. It's something I've been trying to work on since I finished my probation year. I'm trying to be a lot more passive and just kind of go with the flow and accept that what will be will be. But in the past, especially while I was at uni, I was definitely a stress box. I'm just one of those people. I overthink everything. I'm just a little bit of a control freak. Like, I like to feel like I'm in control of situations, and when I'm not, I tend to panic a little bit. So yeah, I'm definitely quite a stressful person. The next one says, you are super confident. I think it's easy to assume that based on the fact that I do my YouTube videos and I'm really quite vocal on my social media. I'm always posting on there, so I can see why people might think I'm quite a confident person. As a teacher, I'd probably say I'm quite confident as well. I'm quite loud. I get excited about, you know, teaching and getting pupils excited about their learning, so, you know, I'm definitely not a shy person, but something that I've really struggled with as a teacher is my self-confidence. So even though I may come across as this really confident, extroverted teacher, I really struggle with my self-confidence and believing in myself and feeling proud of myself when I do something well. I tend to reflect quite harshly on myself. I'm quite critical of myself. So in that sense, I definitely would say I'm not very confident. So hopefully that answers that assumption. The next assumption is that I like to take the lead. I have always been a bossy person. Even when I was in school, like primary school myself, doing projects, I was always that really bossy kid that liked to be in charge. I think teachers do tend to be natural leaders. Obviously you are in charge of potentially 30 young people in a classroom, so you do need to be able to organise other people, but it depends on the situation. Sometimes I don't mind taking on a leadership role and I do enjoy it, but I've always said I really don't ever see myself going into management in school. I just feel like it's a completely different job than, you know, being in the classroom with the children. I don't really like having to solve my own problems, never mind, you know, trying to help other people to solve theirs. So I think there would be way too much pressure in that situation. It's just not really for me. I know that sometimes people say, oh, wait till you have a few more years of experience and later down the line you might change your mind, but I don't really see myself ever changing my mind about that. I'm definitely a confident person. I do enjoy taking on leadership roles with things I'm passionate about, but I don't think I would ever want to go into management or anything like that. Okay, this person thinks that I am too nice. I think people get that quite a lot with young teachers that have maybe recently qualified, because we are young and hip and we want to be friends with our pupils. That's a lesson I definitely learned the hard way. I really wanted my first class to like me and to be that cool young teacher, but I very quickly realised that you really need to gain that respect from your pupils and set clear boundaries. Behaviour management was something that I found tricky. I feel like over the last few years I have built my confidence and I've gained more experience and different strategies to use. So I think that's a pretty fair assumption, and yes, at some points in my career I do think I maybe have been a little bit too nice. I do feel like I've officially mastered that evil teacher stare when a pupil is doing something wrong. Okay, I love the next one. It says that I love technology and I am the go-to person in the school for anyone that needs help with technology. I actually did my university dissertation on the use of technology in the classroom. I am a really big advocate for using technology in the classroom, and you know, whenever I can, I'm making use of the iPads or the laptops. As for being, you know, the technical support in the school, definitely if there is, you know, a teacher that's needing a little bit of help using technology, then I am always willing to help out. I would love to work in a school where, you know, I could be a lead of technology and help my school work towards like the Digital Schools Award or something like that. I'm all for technology when it works. I feel like it's good when it works, but oh my goodness, you know, especially with all of this online learning as well, it has been a real challenge for all of us. But in some aspects it's been really exciting to see how we can use technology even from home to support learning, so I'm hoping that that's something that will continue even once we return back to school. The next assumption is that I spend all of my money on teacher clothes. I think this one might be because I've posted some like hauls and different posts on my Instagram stories. I definitely do not spend all of my money on teacher clothes, and when I do, I like to shop for really affordable stuff. I am a big lover of Tesco or Shein. I do like to invest in clothes that I know I'm going to wear over and over again, and I would say like my wardrobe is quite flexible. I have items that I can wear out of school and in school, so I really like that. My spending habits have kind of changed quite a lot during lockdown. I do feel like I've developed a little bit of an online shopping addiction, and I always get so excited when I've got a delivery coming, but in the past I was quite stingy with money. I didn't really treat myself that often. It's lockdown, you've got to look after your own mental well-being. The next one is actually quite a serious one that I think is something I've been wanting to talk about on my YouTube channel for quite a while now, and that is that I'm worried about my pupils finding my YouTube channel. So if you didn't already know, I have been making YouTube videos since I was in primary school myself. I think I was in primary 7 where I made my very first YouTube video. It's something I've always been so passionate about. You know, I made such silly, stupid stuff when I was younger. My channel's kind of evolved with me. When I was in uni, I made videos all about my experiences as a student, and now that I'm a full-time teacher, I do a lot of videos about that. And I'm really proud of how far my YouTube channel has come. It's not something that I'm ashamed about, but I was really worried about going into my NQT year, you know, about what if my pupils were to find my channel or like their parents were to see it, what other people would think about it. One of the big things when you start your university course to become a primary teacher that they talk about is your profile on social media. There's a big emphasis on making sure everything is privatised, because you don't really want to share the private aspects of your life online, which I found really difficult as a kind of influencer online. I had so many vlogs and things like that on my channel, and initially I actually just privatised everything. I made all of my YouTube videos private, and especially last year during my NQT year, I didn't upload any videos. And I've talked to quite a lot of my teacher friends about this because it was something that really worried me. Some people are so supportive of it, and others have, you know, told me that they think it's probably for the best if I don't do the whole YouTube thing. It is very public, but you know, this is what I'm passionate about, and I am motivated that, you know, maybe one day I can succeed through this. There is a little part of me that doesn't want to give up on doing YouTube just because I feel like this could maybe eventually go somewhere. I would absolutely love to hit 10k subscribers. Like, that it would be such a big life achievement for me. I don't think people realise how difficult it is to gain subscribers on YouTube. So yeah, to answer that assumption, yes, I am incredibly worried about my pupils finding my channel. I've got to be very careful about the things I'm posting online, and although it is something that a lot of pupils are interested in, I know that a lot of kids nowadays want to be YouTubers, so I have a really interesting viewpoint there based on my own experiences. But if I'm willing to share that, then you know, I don't really see why there should be any issue with it. I don't think it's doing anyone any harm. I would be really interested to know you guys' thoughts on this, especially if you are teachers yourself. I have lots of friends on Instagram that have made their public teacher Instagram profiles private and changed their name so that, you know, their school can't find them, and I just think it's a really interesting topic for discussion and people have different views on it, so definitely get involved. Leave me a comment down below and let me know your thoughts on this. Okay, the next assumption is that I'm very glam and that I'm always wearing a full face of makeup to school. That's a tricky one because I feel like we all have those days where, you know, we can't be bothered to put makeup on, where we've maybe slept in, or, you know, we had a terrible night's sleep and we just cannot be bothered. So I wouldn't say this is fully true, but the majority of time it is true. I do like to look presentable. I feel more put together when I have a face of makeup on. I enjoy doing makeup, so there is a little bit of truth to that. I do enjoy dressing up and, you know, choosing my different teacher outfits of the day. I probably would say that I wear a lot more makeup than quite a lot of the other staff that I've worked with in the past so far. I don't really feel like myself when I don't wear makeup, and I think because I generally wear makeup quite a lot when I'm teaching, pupils always notice when I'm not wearing it. There's been a few times where I've not worn makeup and they're like, are you okay? Like, are you ill? Are you not well? A pupil actually told me my head looked like a light bulb once because my face was just really oily. Children are brutal. The next teacher assumption is that I prefer working with younger pupils. That's a really interesting one, and that's something that, you know, everyone always asks. When I was going into my NQT year, all of my university friends were all talking about this and saying, oh, you know, what stage would you like to have for your very first year teaching? Obviously that's completely down to personal preference, like everyone has a different idea of their dream stage to teach in. To be honest, I had some really good placement experiences while I was at uni. I thoroughly enjoyed every placement that I had in each of the different stages. I think there's pros and cons of teaching all of the areas. You know, I wouldn't say that there's any that I don't enjoy. I would definitely say I prefer upper stages, probably middle to upper. I do like that they're a lot more independent and, you know, you can get a bit of banter going with them and you can just challenge them a bit more. And that was pretty much it. I'm thinking of doing another assumptions video very soon, but I'm going to ask for your assumptions of teaching as a career, especially if I have any people watching me that aren't teachers themselves, because I would be interested to know what non-teachers assume about teaching. So if you have any comments about that, make sure you leave them down below, and make sure you go and check out my new podcast. Kirsty and I were reacting to some slightly juicier assumptions about us as people, some non-teaching related ones. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like, make sure you subscribe so that you can see more content in the future, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!